It is, as Robot already said, it's going to be a Spanish mirror on Ozarks. Samwise is going to be spawning in the blue in the northwest of the map here. I'm grabbing 80 food, which is going to help him a lot. I wonder if... last time I watched Samwise play, he didn't build a trading post. Okay. He's definitely not going to build a trading post. He's going to be going that way. So that'll maybe help him age a little bit sooner. Let's see what Knuschelbär is up to. He is also playing Spanish in the color red, and he is going to be going for a trading post. So a little bit greedier, going to have to chop that 100 wood for the house. Might have a slower age up as a result, but he will have more shipments in the long run. And I believe he's already spotted... No, he hasn't spotted city food, so he hasn't spotted anything too good yet, but... Yeah, so this matchup, I mean, this is a civ that I think both players are pretty comfortable with. Of course, Knusch can play probably any civ in the game. Samwise can play almost any civ, and this is Spanish is a civ that I think they both enjoy. They both play a lot. I expect Samwise to probably play this very standard with Fast Fortress, with a trading post in transition. I wouldn't expect anything different from him. It's just not really his style to deviate very much. Knusch, on the other hand, Knusch could definitely deviate. Let's take a quick look at the decks. Absolutely no way to play H2 for Knusch. He's got some cards in H4, so he could potentially choose to do some kind of fast industrials. Also got ATP. He's got capitalism as well. With the trading post start, he might choose to send this card second. As for Sam, very, very, very standard deck. Nothing really unusual here. He's got hand infantry attack, which you don't normally see, maybe, but aside from that, pretty much every card you could want. 5 Hussars instead of 8 Rodoleros, 12 Pikes is not always super common, but for the most part, a very standard looking deck. And Sam is going to be able to get a 14 village up, which is quite early. So that's going to definitely speed up his Fast Fortress. Knusch, on the other hand, might even have to go 16 vills, it looks like. And sending ATP now. What are the natives on this map? Okay, Cherokee. So, ATP is interesting in this matchup because it doesn't seem like... Normally you wouldn't want to send ATP, because there's only 3 trading posts, and Sam is very likely to get one. And so it really just secures you a second trading post. Maybe the native trading post, if that's what he wants to go for. Looks like he is actually going to get 15 vills. Just a few seconds late, so actually pretty good time for him with the trading post up as well, so he's going to be pretty happy about that. ATP is in. Villager's over to wood, so he's going to be moving on to this middle trading post, or he's probably trying, let's see, trying to go to this trading post, see if he can get it before Samwise does, but don't think he'll be able to do that. It probably changes. Once he sees this trading post appear on Samwise's score, I'm sure he'll change directions there. Let's just double check, make sure. Sam didn't send ATP because he's anticipating that it's probably not worth the value, but Knusch will get this second TP. So what's he aging with? The governor as well. So he's going to continue chopping wood, it looks like. Maybe for this TP. Yeah, he's moved all his vills off of it, so he's going to grab the Cherokee TP. Probably get the 4 vills. Yeah, maybe the 4 vills from this at some point. And otherwise, I was going to say he could maybe play H2 and try to secure the trading post that way, but he's aging with the governor and he's not chopping wood for a barracks, so he's definitely going to Fast Fortress himself. Meanwhile, Sam already well on his way to the next age. 700 coins, 700 wood coming in. Pretty much going to have the resources he needs to click up as soon as that 700 coin is gathered. Knusch is going to be a little bit slower, but with slightly better eco, although wasting ATP did somewhat diminish the trading post advantage, I think. But with 2 TPs, he'll be able to compensate for sure. And yeah, very aggressive tower. I remember I played against Knuschelbär in this matchup in the, when was it? It was a tournament recently, I don't remember when, but I played a Spanish mirror against him. Oh, it was the Global Championship, actually. So I played a Spanish mirror against him, and he played this very, very greedy, similar to this game. I think he even aged with the town center. So I'm interested to see if he commits to that same plan, because he did beat me in that game. Summoner coin is about to arrive. Meanwhile, Sam not quite going to be aging yet. All his bills had to walk quite a bit as he didn't quite get these deer under his town center. Small wall going up for Knusch as well, just going to make sure that he's super safe, since Samwise is a little bit faster than him. This will help just slow things down if Sam pushes in. I believe he's spotted this tower as well, so he's aware that the push will come from that direction. And, yeah, nothing unusual just yet. Oh, actually, 8 pikes gonna be the shipment of choice for Sam, so not gonna go with the standard 5 villagers, he's just gonna go straight for the kill. This could be deadly, depending on, like, if Knusch commits to the town center, but we'll see. Summoner Wood's in now. He's behind, actually. He's behind 1 shipment at the moment because of ATP, but in time he'll catch up a little bit. This barracks. Sam placing this barracks just a little bit defensively, not right up on the tower, because he wasn't able to scout what Knusch was doing. Probably didn't want to risk building it next to the tower while Knusch walks up to siege it or something if he plays H2. But here's the pikes, and the Sergeant-at-Arms is going to be the choice for Knusch, so not going to be super greedy. I believe the Sergeant-at-Arms is the 8 pike H-up. It could actually be 8 crossbow, but I believe it's pikes. Either's not casting, no. Sorry, guys. Just me. But, yeah, Sam's just going to be killing this trading post while he ages up, and making some muskets. So he's definitely going for a very early Falconet push, going to play this very aggressively. Knusch going to lose his Explorer here, which is pretty big in this matchup with the War Dogs. That'll be one advantage Sam has. The 45 XP will be helpful as well. But this trading post killed, like, two pikemen on its own, so the ATP kind of paying off a little bit there. But here we go, he's about to age with the 4 Hussars popping out from the tower here. I imagine 2 Falcons will be queued immediately. No, 5 Lancers, okay. Maybe anticipating an infantry start from Knuschelbär, or an infantry age-up or something, and he wants to punish that. And it's actually going to arrive, like, just in time for this age-up to come in. Just going to get in, idle the Vills, seize the muskets, and just going to back on out. It's confirmed that there's a barracks. Confirmed kind of like what Knuschelbär's base looks like, so that's going to give him some idea of how to approach this push when he finally gets around to it. He is going to clean up the second ATP, so there's going to be no trading posts for Knuschelbär. Interestingly enough, Knuschelbär also didn't send 5 villagers, so both players are going to be very low eco this game. Okay, so here we go. 8 pikes are out now, as well as the 5 lancers. Sam has 4 lancers on the way now. And looks like Knusch was able to rescue his Explorer with the War Dog. And Sam is going to chase that down, actually, and end up revealing his lancers to Knusch, which is... Oops, that was a misclick. I don't want to play fast. So that's a bit of a big, like, that's a big scout from for Knusch. Now he's totally aware of the unit composition. And Spanish Gold coming in for Knuschelbär. Despite the fact that he doesn't have any trading posts, he's still going to play very greedy. Actually, did he? Okay, no. So he built the Cherokee settlement, he just hasn't been able to use anything from it yet because he hasn't been able to spare the resources. So, yeah, I would say Sam looking to be in a very good spot in this game at the moment. He's got map control, Knusch is all pent up in his base. Sam has a trading post, and I mean, Knusch does have an economic lead, the shipment after this 5 Lancers, because of the Spanish gold. But in the short term, Sam is looking pretty scary. So, here we go. We're going to be pushing in. A lot of Lancers here, a lot of Musketeers. Skirmishers and Falcons will be coming behind this for Samwise. And there's the 2 Falcons popping out from Knusch, and Sam just not finding the right way to approach the base with the building placement here from Knusch, and sees the Falconettes, doesn't feel like he's going to be able to get a good fight with them, and just backs on out. So Knusch actually holding that very well. And now with the Falconettes buying time, the Spanish gold might actually be able to pay off, which puts him in a much better position than he was just a minute ago. Yeah, Knusch maybe just creeping out with his cannons now. He's maybe confident in the amount of anti-cav he has to defend it. And I believe that's veteran Musketeers coming in as well. Oh my god. The 2 Falc from Samwise just popping out and immediately killing one of Knuschelbär's Falcs. This fight is going just amazingly well for Sam right now. The other Falc goes down, and this just looks great for Samwise. But the Lancers are going to push forward. There's still a lot of Musketeers in the back, though. War Dog's going to sneak onto the Falconettes. The Falcons are targeting the War Dogs. It looks like Knusch will probably be able to take one out. It's going to be really close. He does get one. And getting that Falconet was big. That's going to slow down Samwise's push a lot. And Knusch just got a lot of XP from this fight, so he's going to be able to get a little bit more gold from Spanish gold, but he's starting to run out of hunts. And his next hunt is pretty far away. So this is a big window for Samwise. Currently up military population by a lot. And yes, Knuschelbär are going to have to garrison. The barracks is under fire. Musketeer's not going to be very useful with the skirmishers out. And he's trying to send 12 pikes, but Sam doesn't have any cav coming anymore. He's just got a barracks. There's no stable up. He's sent his lancers already. Oh, actually, this is Sam sending 12 pikes. Excuse me. Knusch is actually sending 4 lancers, and he's going to be able to catch this Falconet, which is really, really nice from him. But maybe Samwise can make sure he doesn't get that for free. The infantry's going to come in, be able to kill probably at least 1 lancer here. Yeah, but Knusch just going to go in. Not going to try to back out, take more losses. And yeah, Samwise with a huge military lead behind this. Knusch has only 2 animals left in his base, or a couple more actually, but they're all pretty low. And Sam going to be able to push right in. And yeah, that's the GG from Knuschelbär. There's just not much else for him to do. Played just a little bit too greedy with ATP and slowed him down a lot. He wasn't able to ship 5 vills, and then really unlucky positioning with the Falc like Samwise. I think Samwise must have got line of sight with his tower, because normally in these 2 Falc fights, when your armies aren't like directly engaged, it's all about the line of sight. And I think this tower gave Sam the line of sight he needed to spot that the Falconets were like right here from Knusch, and then just right-click them, and he got a big advantage that way because Knusch wasn't able to react in time. Yeah, resources very even just because neither player sent villagers. And yeah, really just military timeline, just Knusch was just slower, and as a result he was behind the whole game. So a quick win for Samwise to start off the series. I am going to quickly restart my game so that our replays hopefully play at an appropriate speed, and I will update the scoreboard. Then we will jump into the next game. So there's a new rule in the round of 8. In the previous rounds, you could only play a Civ one time, but in the round of 8 and onwards, you're allowed to play any Civ a second time, just once. Like, you could pick... so either player here could play Spanish one more time, and then they wouldn't be able to play any other Civ a second time, just Spanish. So that's an option available to these players. But yeah, we'll jump into the second game. I believe the map is going to be Punjab. And it's going to be another mirror, a British mirror, actually. Samwise did pick first, so Knuschelbär just counter-picking into the mirror, which I think is not something most people would do against Samwise, as Samwise is kind of known for liking his mirrors, especially with these classic European civs. And he did very well in the previous mirror, so I'm expecting that Samwise was probably pretty happy to get this matchup, but maybe Knuschelbär has a plan in store for us. Looks like neither player is going to be going for a trading post. I have to fix this scroll speed. It makes casting so much harder. 1 second. There we go. Okay, so yeah, neither player going for a trading post, so probably not going to see any Virginia Company shenanigans. Just going to be a market, a manor house from Knuschelbär. Pretty standard stuff. And Samwise just going to be going for a double manor. Both approaches have their merits. Knuschelbär might be able to get Gang Saw earlier, which can help us boom, but the extra villager is arguably worth more than hunting dogs early on, so equal to start. And yeah, both players just using their Grove Rickshaw to scout for these water buffalo. It looks like Sam is going to get an advantage just by 1 water buffalo. 5 of them spawn on this map. Knusch is going to get 2. Samwise is going to get 3. So that's a little slight advantage. It's like getting a small food treasure at some point in the game. He's going to be slightly happy with that for sure. So I was going to scout this 80 wood. Which you definitely can't complain about wood treasures with British. So what's going to be the game plan this game? I see someone in the chat already saying Musk, 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 which, yeah, that's pretty much the way you play this matchup most of the time. I'm interested to see, though, like, Knuschelbär might try to do something else. Like, there are a couple different options in this matchup. You can try to FF, or, like, semi-FF, like, make longbows and defend with the longbows while you raid with Hussars and stuff. There are other options. The Musketeer one is generally the safest, just because longbows are just very very immobile, so it's very difficult for them to deal with heavy infantry, like Musketeers, despite arguably countering them. But yeah, I'm definitely expecting, again, Samwise is probably going to play the very standard style, with the outpost in the middle of the map, Musketeers going up as fast as possible. Knusch, I never know what Knusch is going to do. Just take a quick look at the decks. Knuschelbär's deck, pretty standard overall. He does have Colonial or Town Militia on deck. And he does have both cavalry upgrades as well, which you don't normally see in the mirror. Infinite 2 rockets. But mostly everything he needs to play fairly standard. Samwise, on the other hand, the most standard British deck you could possibly ask for. The only thing you could maybe swap out is 8 villagers. But yeah, overall very, very standard. Both players are up. About the same time. Samwise may be a second or two faster, probably not going to make a big difference. And let's just make sure both players are going up with the governor. So yeah, so far we're on pace to see a very standard British mirror. Villager going to the middle of the map for both players. That's going to be where they build their forward barracks, build those musketeers, and I imagine the towers will join them as well. Mango Grove being placed a little bit forward, actually, for Knusch. Just going to shield his resources a little bit, rather than rely on it for wood later on. It's not a very important source of wood. There's tons of wood on the map anyway. It's okay, here we go. I think Knusch is actually getting a pretty nice advantage with these two hunts. Having sent the Vil a little bit earlier, he's able to control both of these, and Sam, you saw Sam sort of posturing here like he was going to try and go around to herd it, but Knusch just herds it a couple more times, and Sam just gives up on that. But that means that the map control here is not going to benefit Sam very much. He's going to have to try and break the space if he wants access to these hunts in the middle, whereas Knusch is going to build his barracks right here, his tower right here, and the hunt is going to be shielded behind those buildings, so that's looking like a good advantage for Knusch the longer the game goes, but Sam still has time to break it, for sure. Barracks going to be going down, same time, roughly. Tower up in the middle, going to be shielding the hunts. The barracks actually going to be a little bit behind the hunts, with the tower in front, just so anytime Samwise walks up, he has to walk through this tower, give Knuschelbär time to react with his army. And let's just take a quick look at the deck. Pretty standard stuff so far. 700 wood for both players. I would say Knusch is in a good spot, though, because he's grabbing steel traps with this market. And steel traps is a huge upgrade when all you're making are villagers for 100 food and musketeers for 75 food, and you hardly need any gold. And Sam going to be a little bit behind on the market upgrades because he didn't start with one and he didn't build one in transition. And yeah, Knusch just looks like he's going to have an easy time getting up 5 muskets. I'm definitely liking Knuschelbär's position. This is a cute mango grove. I believe this mango grove is just for line of sight. Okay, maybe it doesn't even give him extra line of sight, but I'm not sure that this mango grove really accomplishes anything for Samwise at the moment. Maybe if he mixes some longbows later on, he can kind of use it as a wall while he sieges this tower or something. Market going down now. 600 wood on the way for Sam. 600 wood on the way for Knusch. Very standard stuff. Very mirrored builds. Big difference just being that market. And Samwise going to get a little bit of XP from this manor house as well, but nothing huge. So Knusch looks like he's just going to grab this 100 food treasure. He might choose to go for a raid with these musketeers later as well. Just prevent Sam from maybe sending vills and building manors on these 2 hunts down here. He's only scouted the 1, but musketeer raids on the side can be good. Ooh, longbows coming out for Knuschelbär actually. Okay, so I think this makes a lot of sense because he doesn't he has control of all the hunts in the middle of the map. I don't think he has to really push out too much, and he can easily just keep the longbows behind this grove and this outpost, and easily defend a lot of the pushes that Samwise might go for. So Sam is going to have to really commit to a push and push past this tower with those longbows up now. So I actually like that decision. As long as he doesn't make too many more longbows, I think 5 longbows is a pretty smart decision here. Second barracks going up for Samwise. He's got his market upgrades coming in as well. He doesn't have hunting dogs yet. Okay, coming after placer mines. 5 villagers as well for Samwise. No shipment yet for Knuschelbär. That's probably because Sam was able to kill that manor house, which gives him 81 XP. Does help him out a little bit, for sure. 5 vills now coming. Second racks for Knusch as well. And yeah, this is about as British mirror as you can get. Just lots of muskets, forward bases, and yeah, okay, 5 population going over to Samwise, which means 30 minutes from now, Samwise will have an advantage. But until then, I don't think that treasure does too much for British.
Commandment. Ready. Yes.
Okay, Musketeer attack gonna be coming for Samwise. He's so far ahead on the shipment curve for some reason. I mean, I guess the 80 XP did help quite a bit. He might be able to push with that musket card. See if Knusch chooses to match it in a minute. The other option would be to just send 700 coin and try to age and just defend with those longbows. I would definitely not put it past Knusch to try something like that. And I think with his position with all these hunts in his base, and the positioning on his tower with the longbows and stuff, it could definitely work for him. So he's got the shipment now. Let's see if he chooses. Okay, Musketeer attack.
Yes.
Samwise just poking in, just seeing if he can spot anything. But no, nothing to really see, nothing to really do for him at the moment. I guess both players are just going to be content to... Oh, someone just reminded me. Yeah, the UI. There we go. Both players just going to be content to continue massing units for now. Samwise has a pretty good advantage on the manor population, actually. So he's a slight eco lead. But the extra hunts for Knusch are definitely big. Bye, Sir Harold. Yeah, so eventually, okay, here we go. Musketeer raid going to be split off from Knuschelbär. That's going to help control some of these resources up here. I wonder where he's sending those. Maybe we can spot it. Don't see his rally points anywhere. But yeah, he's going to be just trying to harass a little bit with those, draw some attention away from this forward base. But yeah, I wonder when these players are going to choose to break the ice. Actually, here we go. Samwise will be walking right up to Knuschelbär. Unfortunately, not taking a shot. Half a musketeer dies. 1 musketeer dies. But this, it looks like Knusch just has more stuff here. He's got a slight military advantage. Like, this is roughly equal, but with these reinforcements coming in, he's actually slightly ahead. But overall, just roughly even trade. I would say these 3 musketeers going to be paying off now for sure. Killing 1 villager, going to be forcing these ones to probably run, and that's going to be really painful for Sam. 3rd rack's going down. He hasn't spotted this yet. Okay, he spots it now. He's going to have to send some musketeers to deal with that, or else just run these vills all the way to the other side of the map. And here we go. His reinforcing batches are going to go up there, or at least one of them is. And he's going to be trying to pick off these muskets, which we killed 3 vills now.
Yes.
And that's really diminishing the lead that Sam had with the their manor houses. Sam kind of anticipating this, or seeing this with the manor house maybe. Gonna lose 1 more villager, it looks like. But he will clean up these musketeers. He's gonna clean up the musketeers on both sides. So he's gonna lose quite a few vills at the moment, but at the end of the day, his economy is still equal. And he's going to be killing some musketeers. It doesn't really change much, though, does it? The musketeer count pretty much dead even. And Sam has a lot of muskets that aren't going to be contributing to this fight at the moment. And Knusch actually going to be able to take a great trade here. Going to get 5 muskets for free. Okay, just 4. Very, very close. Okay, 5 muskets for free for Knuschelbär. And Knusch is just looking to be in a really, really good spot now. He's starting to build some extra manors, grow his lead. And Sam just going to be sending these muskets to go raid or spot any raids himself. He's maybe sensing that he needs to kill some villagers himself. Here we go. Knusch spotting that right away, getting some shots off. Sam responding, but in the meantime, Knuschelbär losing some muskets on the front. Samwise pretty much equalizing the mistake he made earlier, but that's so many muskets from Knuschelbär. Sam just has to back up. 6 longbow going to be coming for Sam next to try and defend this. Hunting down the musketeer raid. And Sam should be okay to defend this. Needs to finish this batch. Okay, getting out 13 muskets. Pretty solid. And yeah, I mean, all things seem fairly equal still at the moment, except that Knusch has all this hunt in his base. And I think this hunt is actually going to pay off for him in the next few minutes. As Sam's hunt is much more exposed, he has to walk a lot more, it's harder for him to produce units. But here we go. I think this Mango Grove is actually going to be hurting Sam more than it's helping at this point. And yeah, just players positioning. And this Mango Grove is just messing up Samwise's ability to make a concave here. With the manor house and everything here. And Knusch just takes a great trade there. He's up about 10 musketeers now. And Sam actually training a lot of longbows behind this. I like this a lot with the the sort of wall that's here. I think it will help him, but he's just feeding muskets into the meat grinder. And Knusch is just taking such efficient trades now. He can just push right on in. He's got the 3 musketeers applying pressure up here. And now, with the longbows having to fight in the front lines, this is looking really bad for Samwise. Great surround from Knusch. You can see Samwise still has some musketeers that are too busy walking around to really fight, whereas for the most part, Knusch just has every unit fighting. There's a few stuck in the back now, but it looks like it's going to go really well for him here. There's a reinforcing batch of muskets that might be able to hold this position, but it still looks really good for Knusch, especially with these reinforcements coming in. And I think he's going to be able to clean up this army and maybe continue pushing. At the very least, he's able to pick off some more villagers. He's up 7 villagers now on Samwise and taking the military lead. And I think this game is swinging heavily in Knusch's favor at this point. More muskets fall. There's a 6 musketeer shipment coming from Samwise and a big batch of musketeers, but he's not got the food to really finish the batch. He's had to move his vills too much. He's been losing vills on this hunt up top. Behind this, Knusch just has enough resources to age, and I think that's what he's going to do. Maybe not. Okay, before he even gets to make the decision, it looks like Samwise resigns. And yeah, I mean, just a very standard Brit mirror, really, like Knusch just taking the lead with those musketeer raids. He drew a lot of the military away from the main fight and killed a lot of vills, and Sam just got caught while he was caught with his main army while he was trying to deal with the raids. Just didn't have all his units centralized, and yeah, very well played from Knusch. That's exactly how you do it. You can see, like, Sam had just a slight vill lead until those raids started happening, and then he pretty much had the same vills at 13 minutes that he had at 10 minutes. Alright, I'm going to restart the game again quickly and update that scoreboard. So, all tied up at the moment. I think that's exactly what we want to see. Want a nice close series. Yeah, this weekend is full of AoE content. There's too much. There's the big AoE 2 Red Bull tournament. Age of Empires 4 beta. There's an Age of Empires 3 tournament that we're obviously watching right now. I think there's even an Age of Empires Online tournament at the moment. This weekend is what I heard. Was the ECL draft today? That's right, A's. AOEO is the real AOE4. Alright, jump into game 3. It's gonna be another mirror, a Dutch mirror. Not a surprise at all, I think. Knuschelbär had to pick first on this game, I believe. And not a surprise at all that Sam counterpicks into a mirror. Despite losing the British mirror, I think Sam is just very confident in his ability to play the mirrors. He knows exactly how they work. This is just a matchup he's very comfortable in. And holy crap, stop with the scroll speed. There we go. We pop up the UI. Alright. Yeah, so touch mirror on Grand Chaco. Knuschelbär going for his market start. I know he loves his market start. Last time he did it, in the last round of the tournament, worked out very well for him. I'm still not convinced that it's always good to do, but to each his own, I guess. Samwise, on the other hand, going to be leaving the wood crate on the ground. I'm just going to use that wood to get his faster bank later on. And Sam, maybe not as familiar with this map, actually doesn't find the pond up here and the 4 llamas next to it, and that's going to be a really big swing for Knusch later in the game, getting all these llamas. Sam does have one. It looks like it might walk right back into the envoy at some point. Okay, actually, it looks like Knuschelbär didn't find the 2 llamas down here. So we're actually roughly even at the moment, maybe 1 llama advantage to Knusch after he finds these 2. 3 to 5. Not a huge deal. Gonna be walking through the middle of the map as well, so I imagine this llama's gonna get on home just fine, and these 2 as well. Gonna be escorted by the envoy. And I think both players might be aware. Yeah, there's a 70 wood treasure here. Knuschelbär looking to start it. See if Sam notices in time. At the moment he's going for this 100 coin treasure. And yeah, I don't think he's... Oh, I didn't mean to click that button. He does notice, and he gets the snare. He's not going to get the treasure, but he'll be able to force the Explorer back to the town center at least, or at least force the Envoy to come up and maybe pull the Explorer away. Let's just take a quick look. What's going on? Samwise pretty far ahead in shipment. I think he grabbed 100 XP down here. That's got to be why. So he's going to be able to age 15 vils pretty comfortably. But, I think, yeah, Knuschelbär just going to eat a llama to make sure he ages in time. This is the risk you run at the market start, but maybe on this map with the llamas, you can almost always guarantee you get 1 llama with Dutch minimum, and that's going to help out his age time a little bit. Along with that 70 wood treasure, looks like the market is going to be just fine for him. Let's take a quick look at the decks. Again, let's see. Pretty standard. Maybe 17 Reuters in here for Knusch in case he wants to go H4, but otherwise, pretty standard, just no eco cards aside from the 1 bank. Samwise, pretty much identical deck, just instead of 17 Reuters, he's got the refrigeration. Did Knusch have... Yeah, 1,000 food, so yeah, pretty much identical decks this game. Knusch just a little bit more flexible, arguably, and Samwise a little bit more eco potential if the game goes long enough. But here we go. Both players aging. I am hoping they are both aging with the Quartermaster. Yep. And Sam going to be able to get his bank down just a little bit earlier than Knuschelbär. Oh, actually, Knusch is mining coin because he's going to buy wood for it. So, bank will actually be about the same time. A little bit overgathered for Sam. So Knusch looking to be in a good spot with that market. Always seems to pay off for him. I don't know why it doesn't work for me. It's not fair.
Hello.
So, there's a few different ways to play this matchup as well, I guess. I guess the two main options are like a Hussar Semi and a just 5 bank FF. Kind of expecting Samwise to go for the Semi. I know he likes to make a lot of Hussars in H2 play pretty aggressively, sometimes with 8 pikes. So we can definitely expect something something proactive from him at least. Knusch, on the other hand, I know he definitely likes to 5 bank FF, but he'll probably make some Hussars himself, but we'll have to see. Looks like for the moment both players are going to be building a second bank, sending 700 wood, doing it the standard minimum of 3 bank start. Just a quick pause from the players. And 100 coin going over to Samwise, which will help him out a little bit, but yeah, overall, pretty much identical, except that Knusch has the market. I imagine Sam will add his own market on 700 wood. And we're just going to have to wait and see where the players differ. I imagine there's going to be a bank wagon as well from Knuschelbär. There we go. Very identical.
Commando.
No stable just yet. Yeah, there's the third bank from Samwise. Third bank from Knuschelbär. Come on, guys. You can build banks faster than this. There we go. Okay, there is going to be a stable from Sam. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say he's going to ship 8 pikes. As either his next card or the one after. He could also just, like, mass Hussars. I'm really expecting Samwise to play this a bit aggressively now that all the banks have been built. And Knusch is, yeah, he's also building a stable. Nothing unusual. There's no market for Sam. It's going to be a really big advantage for Knusch if that market doesn't go down at some point soon. It's going to have to be on 600 wood.
Commando? Yeah.
Envoy going to be spotting the stable.
Commando?
He's spotted all 4 banks now. No 5th bank in sight at the moment. Okay, there is a market coming from Samwise. He's got Hussar in queue. Also has Hussars in queue. And, yeah, now we wait. Bill just a bit of hurting. I don't really have much else to say, unfortunately, at this point in the game. Nothing's happening. They're not interacting yet. There we go. 5 Hussars are out onto the map. Heading straight towards Knuschelbär's base. Knusch will easily have Hussars to match, though. And the 600 wood is now out for both players. So let's see. I think Sam's probably going to add a 5th bank, it looks like, with that wood. There it is. Finally going to grab hunting dogs. He's going to catch up in economy a little bit here. Both players going to posturing around this gold treasure. Looks like... Okay, I was scared Sam was going to start it, and then Knusch would be able to get a great fight there, but... Sam's just going to go right on in. Oh, that's not a great engagement. But looks like Knusch not quite capitalizing on it as well as he wants, and Sam actually getting a good fight out of this now. Just barely ahead in this fight at the moment. The reinforcements for Knusch are going to be coming behind this, and he's going to be able to clean this up, I think. Oh, actually, Samwise already has some, but there's one more Hussar here for Knuschelbär, so Sam has to be really careful. That's 6 Hussars to 5. 700 food coming for Knusch to age behind this. Maybe just keep making Hussars, but yeah, it looks like Knusch going to get the slight edge there. He comes out ahead by 1 Hussar. I believe that was 5 Hussars lost for Sam and 4 Hussars lost for Knusch. One of them is pretty low, though, so it wasn't the biggest trade in the world. And, wow, Sam's setting 700 food is... Wait a second. Okay, I was looking at the wrong player. Okay, gonna eat the llamas, it looks like, to try and age with 700 coin. skirmishers in queue just in case there's some pike shenanigans. And Sam's just committing to the hussars. And this is kind of like something that I've seen Sam do a couple of times in this matchup, where he basically just makes only hussars. He might send 8 pikes in the next card, he might send 3 hussars. He could send some Coin in Age as well, but most likely he's just going to make a lot of hussars. He's going to wait until Knusch hits the next age, and then he's going to just push the base with all of these hussars and try to sort of trade them off for these skirmishers that he's anticipating Knuschelbär to make. And this could be a really scary timing. Knusch actually has 8 pike in queue, though, just anticipating some sort of push like this. I imagine his intention is probably to cancel that card if he doesn't see anything in the next 10 seconds or so. So depending on when Sam chooses to show his units, Knusch might be prepared for it. It looks like Knusch is going to see the hussars. And, oh, he's not actually even aging yet. I thought he was already aging. He's got pikes in queue as well, so he's going to be fully prepared for this push. And Sam's going to have to be careful not to get too overeager and dive in there. There's the 8 pike shipment. He does see it. Probably going to have to drop, yeah, drops 1 hussar back. There we go. So just one for one trade there. He picked up one hussar. Oh, no! Okay. Wait, run this way. No, 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 no. Oh, this hussar could have lived too. No! Stop it! Samwise! What are you doing? Sam! Your hussars! Oh no. Calling Minutemen now because he's got to kill the pikes. That's looking really bad for Sam. He stopped moving. And he's going to lose so many hussars here. Okay, dropping back. Okay, okay, he's broken the snare. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. He's going to lose 1 more, maybe. Okay, he's going to turn with the Minutemen, maybe. I don't know, there's a lot of pikes here. There's a lot of pikes here for Knusch. Oh, the skirmishers sitting in the back. I mean, they're not super important here. Actually, Sam might be able to turn this fight. It looks like Knusch didn't finish his pike batch. And... oh, it's so close, but I think Sam coming out ahead there, despite how bad that looked. Oh no, there's still 3. No, wait. No, Knusch coming out ahead. Sorry. I am so confused. Who the heck? Oh, is that the alert? Thank you so much for the raid, Harrison. In the 3rd game of Samwise versus Knusch at the moment. Both players up to the fortress stage behind this fight. I guess that fight was roughly equal for both players. That was such a tense situation. I was really scared the game was just going to straight end. But yeah, both players behind this. I mean, Sam's got some hussars left, and Knuschelbär has some skirmishers. But both players are going to be up. 5 hussars going to be trained for Knusch, just to make sure he can defend, and he's got Reuters in queue. He's continuing to train hussars. He's going to grab this coin treasure behind this, which is really good health. Train some more units once he gets up. 5 hussars is going to be the first for Sam, so he's going to go for a vet hussar skirmisher timing very early. I don't think he has enough skirms to really commit to this, although hussars for Knuschelbär maybe overstepping a little bit. The Reuters are still a ways away. He's shipping 1,000 wood behind this as well, so this is looking like it could be a really good trade for Samwise. 3 hussars going to kill off all these skirmishers, and the hussars go down, and yeah, Sam looking to be in a great spot now. The Reuters are out. They're going to be able to force them away, but he's killed off just a lot of units for free, although this 1 hussar is going to actually maybe allow these Reuters to trade a little bit. Vet Huss now in for Samwise. There's 1 lone Minuteman going to go into snare and die, unfortunately. But it was a valiant effort to sacrifice himself for the stronger, more important cavalry. A lot of Reuters coming from Knuschelbär behind this. He's not even trading skirmishers anymore. 2nd stable coming. He's kind of realized that he saw the veteran hussar upgrade. He knows that Sam is kind of committed to this composition. And I would say Sam has a slight advantage here now with those trades. Knusch going to have to think about leaving his base pretty soon as his hunts are running out. But it's not over yet by any means. Knusch did ship 1,000 wood, whereas Samwise did not. And so he's going to have a much easier time getting up all these buildings and training these units. And Knusch actually might be totally fine because of that. 8 skirmishers coming behind this for Sam. Just going to continue massing a little bit. Wants to get like a really big mass of hussars and skirmishers before he pushes in. And I'm going to start making Reuters now. And yeah, I mean, it's just got control of the map for now. Maybe it's roughly equal. I said it was good for Sam. I think it is still good for Sam, but moving these villas is going to hurt. But Knuschelbär is not, definitely not out. Moving all these villas, though, he's going to have a hard time finishing some of these batches. And he's shipping cavalry combat, which is probably exactly what he needs to make sure his Reuters can kill the hussars. But there's a lot of units here from Sam, and he's just going to go... He's looking to go pick a fight, grab his Explorer, use the Explorer to find the army, but the army's already there anyway. And here we go, he's going to go right on in. The Hussar is going to just get right on top of the skirmishers, the Explorer coming to snare, Knuschelbär's Explorer coming to snare. And yeah, the Hussars get right on top of the skirmishers. There's a lot of Reuters here, but when you have Hussars right on top like this, the villagers are exposed. This is looking pretty good for Sam at the moment, although the Reuters are trading really well, and especially in this choke point between the house and the gold mine. Yeah, Sam's going to have to back up a little bit. He does have more skirmishers, though, at the end of this fight. He's going to pick off some bills, force them to run away. And that's all he's going to do. He's not going to commit any further just yet, but he's really restricting Knuschelbär's movement. Okay, some more anti-cav comes in. He's going to push into the skirmishers again. Does he know about the hunt in the back here? He does see 1 dead animal, 2 dead animals, but not quite comfortable enough to do that. Ransoming the Explorer. I think he saw the army coming in there and was like, "Oh my god, I just need this unit." But Samwise just backs out immediately, and that's just 100 gold sent to Samwise for now. We get second barracks coming up in the middle of the map for Sam. 9 Reuter shipment behind this. He's centralizing his villagers so his army can easily defend it. But there's a big Hussar switch coming for Knuschelbär. And actually, I think Knuschelbär is looking pretty good now. His army composition is a little bit better. These Hussars didn't quite pay off the way Sam needed them to. And yeah, I mean, this Hussar transition is going to be just perfectly timed. Doesn't look like he's going to go to a full batch, but he'll get out quite a big one. About 8 Hussars probably, plus the 5 from the shipment. Well, it's so hard to say who's winning right now. I think, actually, Sam has a slight advantage at the moment, I would say. Just, he's got more skirmishers. He does have some anti-cav and some Hussars to block. Depends on, really, like, if Knusch can get a good position here. Knusch does have cav combat, which is huge. Knusch does not have that. Or Sam does not have that. The Explorer coming in full HP. This is looking like a really good position for Knusch. But the Skirmisher is managing to duck behind the Reuters there. Reuter is going to be able to pick things off, but this Explorer is going to be tanking a lot of the damage that Sam really needs to be going on these Hussars. And looks like the Hussar switch not actually going to go that well. He's still got a Skirmisher lead, but there's a lot of Reuters behind this. Sam could definitely fight this, definitely with the reinforcements coming in. And yeah, Sam just comes out ahead. Hussar transition's just not working out for either player at the moment, but I think Sam has established himself with the larger skirm mass at this point. Knusch is not going to have an easy time switching to Hussars again. He does have a few that looks like they might... Okay, I thought they were going to go for a raid heading in this direction for a moment, but... Scores are dead even despite Sam having arguably a better military. There's not as many Reuters left here. infantry combat coming behind this for Samwise.
Commando.
And once again, Knuschelbär engaging. Getting a pretty good position. Hussar's right on top of the skirmishers this time. Sam responding with his own. It looks like this game is just dead even at the moment. With the big Reuter mass, I think that's going to compensate for less skirms. Well, okay, I keep saying that. I keep calling the fights wrong. I'm going to stop trying to call the fights. Because Sam's way ahead now. He's got way more skirmishers. Infantry combat is in. He's able to just keep pushing. And Knusch is going to be pushed off this gold mine. This hunt is running out in the bottom. He has to go to this one. He's using some of it right now, but it's not easy to keep these villagers safe if Sam keeps pushing in here. He doesn't know about this hunt so much though. Knusch just committing to the Hussars. And, I mean, I think that makes sense when you're behind in skirmisher count. Hussars are kind of your way to try and trade the Hussars to get a skirmisher lead, and then you kind of hold the lead from there. But Sam adding in a second stable now. Tons of resources in the bank. And it's looking pretty good for him. 2 Hussars being split off just to go check this gold mine for some villagers. Gonna be looking down here, seeing if he can find Knusch. He's gonna see the house, potentially. He's just gonna sit the Hussars there, because that's kind of the next mine that he has to go for in the future. And this one. So yeah, just infantry combat versus cavalry combat at the moment, and I think infantry combat is probably what you want. But this, I don't know, you always gotta be a little bit cautious of these Hussar switches. Because there's gonna be 15 Hussars out? 14 Hussars? 14 Hussars? Doesn't seem like it's gonna be enough. Spots the Vills down here. Now he knows where to push. Does lose the Hussars for it, but I think that's worthwhile. Here we go, Sam pushing in. Knuschelbär potentially going to have to choose to go in with these Hussars right now. Without this next batch. Sam just going to kite his way out. The Hussars not quite able to get the engagement that they want, but he's going to fight anyway. If Knusch can pick off a lot of these Reuters during this fight, the reinforcing batch of Hussars that he's got coming behind this could definitely clean this up, but there's still a lot of Reuters for Sam here, and the Hussars just really not being very effective. Yeah, all of them going down. And now I think Sam has a large enough army. Surely he's going to be confident enough to push in here, force the villagers away, force Knuschelbär to keep fighting and taking bad trades. How many Vills did this kill? I don't know, but Knusch is killing Vills.
Commando.
And yeah, here we go. Sam just pushing in. Knusch just doesn't have the units to really deal with this. Infantry combat coming for him behind this. Another big Hussar batch to try and swing a fight somehow. He just needs to swing one fight, and he'll be okay. But it just seems like there's too many Reuters here for Sam at this point. Have combats in for Sam as well. Here we go. Attempt number 3, or is it attempt number 4 with the Hussars just going straight on in. Not quite going to commit to that though. Gonna back up a little bit, keep trading with the skirmishers. He's got another batch of Hussars behind this. And it's just a slow death at the hands of Samwise's skirmishers at the moment. Oh, there's a big batch of Hussars coming from Sam now, and this is probably going to be what finally forces Knusch to concede this location. Yeah, Knusch is going to be forced to fight. No. Sam just content to keep poking with the skirmishers for now. Big reinforcing batches on the way. Yeah, just great trades for Sam now with these skirmishers. And Knusch is forced to fight. He can't just keep bleeding out units, so he's going to be getting in there. Hussars are going to be trying to engage, but there's Hussars to block. There's more than enough Reuters here, more than enough skirmishers here, and I think this is probably going to be the end of the game for Knuschelbär. Samwise, just with the better army, is going to be trading much better here. And the Hussar count is down. He's got less Reuters, less skirmishers, 84 military population to 33, along with a 10 villager lead. And I think that's going to be Samwise taking his second game of the series, putting himself up 2-1. And, yeah, I mean, Knusch just was never able to leave his base the whole game. Really nicely played from Sam, taking some really good trades. And, yeah, thus concludes the third mirror. In case you guys were wondering, the rules are for this tournament mirror only. So the next mirror, what's that going to be? It's going to be Florida. Oh, it's not going to be a mirror on Florida. There's no way. Let me just update the score. On Florida, Knusch has to play Haudenosaunee or Portuguese, and I don't think Samwise will mirror either of those. It could be a Japan mirror, that's true. Sam has to pick first, though, and I don't think Knusch would mirror Japan. Alright. Let's see. Oh my god. It's a Japan mirror. Okay. Alright. Chisewi, you called it. I don't know, you deserve a prize. I don't have anything to give you, but you called the matchup correctly. It's gonna be the fourth mirror of the series. The Japan mirror. I like this mirror a lot, though. I think this mirror can be really interesting, especially on this map. There's a lot of different options for players. Looks like both are going to be starting with a consulate at the moment, but I'll be interested to see like if they both choose to go 3 boats, or if one person chooses to go Kami, maybe both players chooses to go Kami. Who decides to go Yumi, who goes Ashi. I think there's a lot of options here, and it's all about like eking out the small advantages and with the early trades and stuff. Like you don't tend to avoid fighting in this matchup, I think. You always want to be sieging shrines and trying to trade off units, so I expect there to be a little bit more action this time, I hope. But yeah, let's see how they choose to play it out. Kind of both just picking up sheep at the moment. Samwise maybe being a little bit better on that at the moment. Let's take a look. It's 4 sheep for Samwise. And for Knuschelbär, looks like it's probably going to be the same. Okay. Yeah, 4 sheep to both players at the moment. Going to be a 5th one for Knuschelbär in a moment. Sam does have a 5th one behind his base that he'll grab eventually as well, so I guess it'll just be dead even. And, Portuguese consulate on the way for Knusch. He's not sending a card. Okay, he's sending Heavenly Kami. I was going to say he's not sending a card yet, because he's going to wait for... Oh, this is risky. This treasure, you need to build your shrine. Here you go. I thought he was going to send 3 boats because he was delaying his shipment a little bit, but Samwise is going to be sending 3 boats, so it's going to be Knuschelbär playing the sort of slower, greedy style. I like that he's sending these sheep over here to try and put them on the shrine when it finishes. And Samwise is going to be playing a little bit more aggressively, potentially with these 3 boats. We'll have to wait and see. And gets two sheep on the shrine. I think that's nice. That's going to make that shrine just a little bit faster, get him a few more resources in the short term here, compared to Sam, whose shrine is going to be a little bit worse. Quite a bit worse with Heavenly Kamian. But he will have 3 boats, so I don't think he'll complain about that too much. Not that he even knows about it. But, yeah, Portuguese consulate for both players. A lot of extra food for Sam. He's going to be aging very early, actually. Yeah, the extra, just a couple food treasures and the 3 boats going to help speed up his age up a little bit. And he can place his wonder right now. There we go. Okay, so, yeah. That gives Samwise potentially a little bit of tempo once he gets up to the 2nd age. I mean, I don't expect him to play aggressively with, like, 5 Ashigaru shipments and stuff, but it'll allow him to be, like, a little bit more proactive about controlling the shrines. He'll get his shipment a little bit sooner, so he can be a little bit greedier. And Knusch going to be placing that wonder now. Around 3 minutes. It's not late. It's just slower than Sam, because Sam did a faster opening. Wood upgrade coming in for Samwise. So, what'll be interesting is what the shrine count looks like in a couple of minutes, because Knuschelbär is going to have a much easier time adding in those shrines. Well, yeah, I mean, they're cheaper, so he probably will. He's already up 1 shrine. He hasn't even started, like, chopping wood. Samwise is going to be building shrines pretty aggressively on Knuschelbär's hunt. Yeah, let's just take a quick look. Next. Of course, extremely standard from Samwise as usual. Knuschelbär does have 2 Funes. Actually, did Sam not have... Okay, Sam does have warships in deck. A little bit heavier than Knuschelbär, actually. No 5 Yumi shipment for Knusch, so he's likely starting Ashy. Same thing for Samwise, actually. No 5 Yumi shipment. Please, calm down. You'll get your Vil eventually, calm down. That's what I do in-game, though, so I can't blame him. So, Sam gonna be up momentarily. He is actually ahead in shrine count as well at the moment. I want to see if he builds... Looks like he's going to build another shrine right here, probably. I imagine... Whoa, wait. Oh, okay. I thought there was a dock up somewhere. No, it's just going to be 3 boats from the consulate. Going to send 600 wood, continue building shrines. Just going to do the, you know, the standard kind of late double strategy that Trend likes to do. So basically you just send 600 wood, build lots of shrines, you get your market upgrades, you just boom as much as possible. Then when your 600 wood arrives, you drop down 2 military buildings, and you just start pumping out Ashigaru or Yumi archers or whatever you need, and start trying to defend your shrines, kill your opponent's shrines, and what have you. Knuschelbär are going to be doing what looks like probably the same thing. 600 wood on the way, just building more shrines. And his shrine count is going to start growing for him. He's not going to be grabbing the boats from the consulate, though. He's going to save that for the Bastilleros, most likely. So that's going to be a slight military advantage for him, probably, in a couple minutes when he gets the forwarded export for that. Which, you know, could matter. I don't think these boats are going to gather enough fish for 7 Bastilleros in that time. Here we go. 1 barracks down for Sam. There'll be a 2nd barracks. Not yet, but I imagine he'll add 1 soon. Starting to grab those market upgrades. Just continuing to build shrines. And Knusch just doing the same thing. 1st barracks coming down. There we go, 2nd barracks for Knusch. There we go, second barracks for Samwise. So things looking pretty even overall. Maybe a slight advantage to Samwise at the moment, just because of the fishing boats. But he's got more shrines. He doesn't have more shrines, but he's pretty close in shrine count. At least for the moment. He's making Yumis as well, and I think Knusch is macroing for Ashigaru. The difference here is that Knuschelbär is going to have probably a lot more siege than Sam. Sam is going to obviously trade a little bit better against the Ashigaru, at least in the short term. But Knusch could probably do... Okay, he's getting Portuguese boats himself. He could probably do like a Nagi switch at some point. And if Sam's not careful, that can be difficult to deal with. But the 600 coin for now, probably just going to be used to age up. And maybe get some flaming arrows. So Sam's going to be going for a second 4 villager shipment. Knusch just going for 600 coin right away for the age up. So Sam going to be slightly ahead in villager count, slightly behind in shrines, and he'll have a 3 boat advantage to compensate. What that means is it's probably roughly equal. Maybe slightly in favor of Sam for eco, but Knuschelbär aging up faster is going to give him a lot of tempo, potentially. And he's got to be careful positioning his explorer, because he's maybe anticipating Ashigaru, but he's does spot them. Is he paying attention? He might not be paying attention. Okay, but reinforcements coming in. Should be able to trade pretty well here. But Knuschelbär just can commit. He's got the 2 explorers coming in here as well. And yeah, he's going to trade pretty well here. Currently, yeah, slightly advantageous for Knusch, it looks like. Like, maybe 4 versus 4. I'm not sure exactly how many units were lost there, but... Alright, so is Knusch up? Yes, he's going to be aging. Probably with the Golden Pavilion. He could go with the Shogunate, though, if he wants to be a little bit more aggressive. Okay, so maybe the Golden Pavilion. Give him some Yumi, make his army a little bit stronger. And Sam behind this. It's not going to be aging. Maybe going to wait for the next shipment. But just adding in some Ashi. Give him some siege. Make sure he doesn't die to a Nagi switch or something. Finishing off his Shrine Boom. But no, it's going to be Ashi attack, actually, so he's not going to age just yet. And I think Knusch is in a really good spot then. It's going to take a while, but once he gets the veteran upgrade and the flaming arrows on the way, I think he'll be in a really good spot. I'm going to be switching to Japanese consulate as well, going to get an extra 7% damage, and maybe start training some clubs to start cleaning up some of these shrines. I'm interested to see if Samwise chooses to push really hard when Knuschelbär ages, or if he just tries to clean up more shrines and follow him up to the next age. Just gonna have to wait and see what Knuschelbär does with his age up here. Go. What does he send? It is going to be Flaming Arrows as the first card. He's also switching to Japanese consulate himself. And he'll probably push pretty hard with that. And Sam, seeing that, just going to react with 600 coin, follow him up. So Sam's going to be a bit slow to the Fortress Age for sure, which is going to make defending Flaming Arrows pretty difficult. But he does have an Ashigaru upgrade, but I mean, the veteran upgrade's coming in soon. I think Knusch is looking to be in a really good spot at the moment with that age up. Even choose to follow it up with a second Flaming Arrow shipment, which will just be really difficult for Sam to deal with because Sam's not going to have any shipments when he reaches the next stage. Oh, it's going to be a fight here. This is an interesting position for Sam. He's got the extra upgrade for the moment. The veteran upgrade's not done yet. He's got reinforcements coming as well. This could actually be a really nice fight for Sam. But the discipline upgrade does finish. And this Explorer is tanking so much damage. Flaming arrows are out, but they're not going to be able to join this fight in time. And it looks like when the dust clears, Sam is going to be coming out slightly on top. This is probably a roughly equal trade, really. I forgot the UI again. There we go. Hauling a Minutemen behind this as well, just trying to force the trade. And he's not aging yet. He's gonna have to send Orchards. Orchards maybe a little bit early. There's still 3,000 food on this. He's got a lot of food coming in from the boats. There's the Flame Arrows. Oh, but the flank. There's not a lot to defend. Okay, there's more Ashy coming. This could be really a really nice pickup for Samwise. All the muskets in melee. We're gonna be getting onto the Flaming Arrows. There we go. And yeah, Sam's looking in a good spot now. These Yumi archers are gonna be adding in a lot to this fight. And behind this, Sam is finally macroing to age. Knuschelbär behind this, just shipping 8 Ashigaru. There's still a big window that Knusch could potentially push Sam behind this. Like, Sam's taking advantage for now, but there's... Like, Knusch actually has more units in a moment. Sam's aging. It's hard to call this game. There's some clubs killing things on both sides. Sam actually has more shrine population. I guess Sam is probably ahead, but yeah, I mean, yeah, Knusch has to ship Orchards now as his next card. And Sam's on his way up. This push could still be scary. It's 30 discipline to Ashy. I'm just gonna take a quick shot at one. The Yumi archers should arrive just in time from the age up to defend this. This one shinobi is gonna get wrecked while we wait for Knusch to push. Come on, Divine Strike, there we go. That's what we want to see. This is going to be a tricky push. Knusch could just kill the Raxes. If he kills the Raxes, maybe Sam can defend it. But if he just goes, straight onto the cherry orchards, it might be tough. But okay, he's just going to try and siege. Samwise might be able to just defend, like poke at the sides a little bit. So reinforcing batch. He's got the Yumi archers behind this. Here's the Yumi from the age up, and there we go. Sam's going to be totally fine here. And he's got a shipment on the way. It's going to be Flaming Arrows of his own. He's fighting this maybe a little bit prematurely without the Disciplined upgrade. He does have Yumis, but he does have the upgrade, the Ashy attack upgrade, but that trade went really well for Knusch, and really, like, Sam didn't have to fight that. Thankfully, the Rax that's dying is not the one that has this split upgrade in it. And there we go. Sam going to be able to push this back. Knusch got a pretty good trade there overall. Gets the barracks at the end. But Sam is looking to be in a really nice spot behind this, I think. He's got the Flaming Arrows on the way. Knuschelbär doesn't have a shipment. He's got a stable up. Not using that yet. Randomly 2 clubs in the back here. Let's take a quick look at the economies. Sam has a 10 villager lead, apparently. I don't know. I don't think that counts shrines. Yeah, he does have a 10 vill lead down here. He's also got a higher shrine count. He's got arguably the better army. But let's see, Knusch could still outplay this. He's got more Ashigaru, so he's got kind of the much more mobile army. And yeah, if he just runs his army around, maybe he'll buy enough time to catch up. Be forced away from that shrine. Just another Ashigaru upgrade coming in for Samwise. Flaming Arrows coming in for Knusch behind this. And yeah, I mean, Sam's Ashigaru are also just stronger. 37 attack to 33. He's gonna soon have more hit points as well. Oh, no, sorry. Knusch already has the hit points upgrade, so it'll match that. So just more attack for Samwise. I guess the question is, how does Knusch get back into this game? I think maybe feels like he just has more infantry. Like, he's got more military population. Like, maybe he can just take a really good fight here pretty soon. Like, these unupgraded Yumis are not the best. I mean, they're going to do more damage than the Ashigaru, I guess, or similar damage to Ashi as long as he can keep them alive. Yeah, it's hard to call. Definitely. Oh, wait. Did he train these? These have castle? Oh. Oh, this could be big. This could be really big. That's exactly what he needs to get back in this game. These villagers. Knuschelbär, look at your villagers! Oh, those are all dead. But this is exactly what Knuschelbär needs to potentially, like, get back into this game. Just create an imbalance like this that's, like, really hard for Sam to deal with. And yeah, it's kind of scary. Sam macroing to age almost. He could finish this batch, probably will finish this batch, but Sam's going to be forced to back up here with those 4 flaming arrows. He's almost got to drop a castle himself, but Knusch also has Busame coming behind this. This could be a great fight for Knusch, but is the flaming arrows enough? Because it looks like Sam's army is bigger here, but so many of them are not fighting. Just look at them being stuck in the back of the choke point there. This is going great for Knuschelbär. Just taking a huge military lead now, up 20 population. More reinforcements coming. Sam kind of panic sending flaming arrows, but like 2 flaming arrows against 4 doesn't really do anything. Dropping a castle. This is not the position you want the castle to be in, though. There's no way that this goes up. If Knusch just keeps pushing in here, he's going to see the castle. He can just take that out with a couple flaming arrow volleys. He's just asking another vill to it. Knusch is doing a really good job of getting himself back into this game despite the eco deficit. And Sam just going in to fight, and I don't know if this is the right decision. Flaming arrows just doing work on the back. And it's really hard for him to maybe get a flank to get in there. Trying to split up the units a little bit, but it's actually going okay for Sam. The own flaming arrows are now coming. Is there reinforcements on the way behind this? There's a few idle reinforcements, but other than that, there's nothing on the way. Sam popping out another 15 muskets. There's Ashigar's going for a raid on the way back. There's a lot of... I think this is going the way of Knuschelbär, but there's nothing to really body block these flaming arrows anymore. If Sam just walks up and kills them, would be in a good spot. But this raid, gotta be really careful about this raid. A lot of exposed villagers back here. And there we go, up on the flaming arrows. Gonna be just trading off. this flaming arrow. Sam pulls it back in time. And here we go, the club spots the villagers. This is a bit scary. I mean, there's only a few Ashy. It looks like he sent a few back here. But, okay. Yeah, Sam will be okay. He's going to lose a couple of vills here. But he'll be able to defend it. And, yeah, once the smoke clears, Sam looking good again. It was a little bit scary for him, not gonna lie. And more flaming arrows being trained. Oh, sorry, that's Samwise. Samwise training flaming arrows. Knusch just training Yabusame. Maybe trying to make the transition over to Yumi archers and Yabusame. He's got some Yumis now, he's got the upgrade for them. And maybe eventually he'll grab this upgrade for the archers from the Seminole, and later grab the other archer upgrade from the Carib. And yeah, it's definitely the transition he needs at this point. Yumi Archer is going to do really well against Sam's Ashy. The Yabusame will be good against the Flaming Arrows. He's still down quite a few vills, but they've not been gathering for quite a long time. Yeah, so I think Sam has an advantage, but I think Knusch is very capable of winning this game from this position for sure. Here's the 9 Yumi shipment coming in. Ooh, he's got to be careful not to take this fight, though. Uh-oh. Sam, what are you doing? Your flaming arrows. Okay. Knusch might try and sneak a snipe on those flaming arrows while he's distracted. Yeah, I don't think he's going to run into these flaming arrows, but oh, wait, actually, yeah, I think he's going to lose these. He's definitely going to lose these. There we go, they're spotted. Nope, never mind. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. Look at that batch. Batch of 24 Ashy for Sam. Oh, and he's going for the vills up here, but his army is going to get trapped. And, I don't think he has enough units. Although, the Yumi archers are going to be good here, and this positioning is actually quite good for Sam, or for Knusch with that concave. Flaming arrows, just randomly going to get taken out by clubs, maybe. There's some more flaming arrows coming in the back. Knusch actually doing okay in this fight at the moment. Sam, though, his Ashigaru are still stronger, and he's still got 2 flaming arrows left behind it. The Yabusame are nowhere to be found. It looks like he's going to be able to clean up this fight. Knusch just going to be focusing down villagers instead, which is actually going to tidy up the equalize the villager count. And he's still got the Yumi archers alive. Actually, I think Knusch is going to be in a good spot after this fight. He's got the right composition, and he's mostly equalized the economy. He's just got to find the resources. He's got the resources to start adding in those archer upgrades from the native posts. Sam does have a slight military lead at the moment with this next big batch. I mean, the flaming arrows are still going to be tough to deal with because he doesn't have a lot of Yabusame at the moment, but I think if Knuschelbär is given a couple more minutes here, we have the bow coming in. He's just got to get this upgrade, and I think he'll be looking to be in a pretty decent position. But that being said, it is a 5k score lead. So, Sam is definitely looking good. A lot of these Ashy, though, tied up in the back here. And the Yabusame just going to be going for the snipe. Going to be able to pick off at least one. Read 1 for 1. These are really expensive, though. Like, 210 resources. It's like, I guess, just slightly over half the cost of a flaming arrow. If he loses two Yabusame for 1 flaming arrow, I don't think Sam is going to be too upset. Sam may be over-focusing on defending the flaming arrows here. Knusch going to be taking a good trade here, killing off one flaming arrow. And he's, like, this game is pretty even now. There's the big difference is there's Yumi archers now for Knuschelbär. Building a town center behind this. Well, Horseman's coming in for Samwise. He's got a good position with his Ashy here, going to be forcing Knuschelbär back. This game is very back and forth. I feel like Sam has had a slight lead the whole game, but Knusch has just been doing exactly what he needs to try and get back into the game. Forced to delete that town center. Okay, Sam looking in a good spot now. I need to stop calling, like, who's ahead or behind, but Yumi Archer is going to come out. That's probably going to be enough to force Samwise to back up here. More flaming arrows, though. There's no more Yabusame on the map. Starting to make rice patties. He didn't have a shipment ready for the cherry orchards. He hasn't been able to switch his shrines over to food. Maybe he hasn't been able to really think about that much at the moment. There's no way that this kills one, right? Oh my god. Okay. Thought it was actually gonna die. They do so much damage in melee to artillery. And okay, Sam now looking to be back in the lead. Somehow got another 10-vill lead. I don't know where that came from. I guess Knusch hasn't been training villagers, maybe? With the lack of food he's had. Yeah, and it just doesn't feel like this this Yabusame is really working out for him at the moment. Four flaming arrows popping out, though. And there's no way Sam can fight that. 2 versus 4. He might try to fight it anyway. He's just gonna walk straight on up. And there's not really a lot to block here, I guess. There's an 8 Ashy shipment popping. That's exactly what he needs. But this looks really good for Knusch. He's gonna be able to force Samwise back here. And the game continues. Big difference right now is that Sam actually has cherry orchards, and Knusch has rice patties. That's not exactly what you want. Shinobi are so much fun to watch siege buildings. Oh no! The villagers! This is where Knusch maybe gets back into the game. He's gonna kill all these vills. I don't think there's any way for Sam to save them. And then the eco is gonna be dead even. I mean, there's still cherry orchards up for Samwise, but... Okay. He saves a few of them. Knusch not willing to continue chasing that. Just afraid of getting trapped, maybe. Looks like Knusch has been transitioning back into Ashy as he started making more flaming arrows. Jeez! 7 flaming arrows. Sam training more flaming arrows himself behind this. Shinobi raids going to be happening. I hope he uses stealth with these, it's so insane. Just kill vills and then immediately stealth. Go look for more vills. The fact that Knuschelbär has been consistently down 3 to 5,000 score for the last 10 minutes and is not dead. It's very, very, like, well played from him so far. If Sam just messes up one time, the game will completely flip. Thousand wood coming for Sam now. That's going to potentially help him transition to rice paddies, maybe add some more town centers. Here we go. 8 flaming arrows for Samwise, 7 for Knuschelbär. Immediately takes out almost 2 of them. But the positioning on the infantry is good for Knuschelbär with the Yumi on the side. But as long as Sam wins the flaming arrows, be good. But a lot of them just, like, they're not being able to walk between this tree and the flaming arrows, so... Okay, but he comes out on top. Still got 6 versus 3. He's in a really good spot. Although, there's not a lot of Ashies left to defend this. He's got some units up here that he really needs in this fight. And yeah, he was able to win the fight against the Flaming Arrows, but in the meantime, he lost all of his infantry. And Knuschelbär's able to hold. Again. The never-ending Japan mirror. A few unupgraded Yumis coming from Sam now, but he's going to be forced to retreat. And at this point, he's got to make the transition to rice paddies, and guess who's already done it? Knuschelbär already has rice paddies up. And... oh no. Why is this game so hard to tell who's winning? I wonder if Sam, like, I feel like Sam's not been super active. I wonder if he's aware of the Seminole upgrade and the Carib upgrade for the Yumi archers. He's starting to switch to Yumi himself, at least. Knuschelbär does have Way of the Bow, so his are going to be quite a bit better. And Yumi attack coming in as well. I'm starting to like this game for Knusch, I think, because I just feel like his army composition it seems consistently better in this game. And he's been down eco the whole time. I don't know how he keeps being down 10 Vils, even though he keeps killing Vils. But if this game drags out where they both start maxing eco, like what's the build limit? 75 Vils? Then it's going to start looking pretty good for Knusch. Rice paddy transition is happening. Doesn't have many upgrades yet, but more flaming arrows for Knuschelbär. These Ashi could be out of position though. Club is actually going to end up spotting the army, so Knusch will actually be able to run. And yeah, I think the game is just, despite this 10 Vil lead, it feels like this game is just close. I mean, I guess it's not quite 10 Vils, because Knusch does have Heavenly Kami on his shrines, and he has a lot of shrines, so I don't know. Samwise does have 3 more, though. And the Yumi mask is looking really good for Sam now. Okay, so once again, Samwise with a lead. Can Knusch hold again? Let's see. So the Yumi taking just a great trade against the Ashigaru here. Also getting right up on top of the flaming arrows. This is just going fantastic for Samwise, this fight. 1 flaming arrow going to be left in the back for him. Everything's going to be forced to run for Knuschelbär. Samwise up to an 8,000, almost 8,000 score gap now. 7,000 maybe, but looking really, really good after this fight, for sure. He's finally going to be able to push. What does Knusch have coming behind? He's got 4 flaming arrows in queue. That's probably going to be enough to push Samwise back again. He just doesn't have enough to push in here. He doesn't have anything that can just walk up and kill these flaming arrows. We'll see how much damage he can get down on this Wonder in the meantime, but I think Knusch will be able to hold with these flaming arrows. The Wonder might go down. Down to 2k HP. Flaming arrows are getting in now. Looks like Sam not committing to killing that with the Yumis. 600 HP on the shrine, and it's going to live. Still a flaming arrow that's poking away at it. Just you should have just thrown one more torch. One more torch with your units and the Wonder goes down. But yeah, Knusch holds again. And we're back to the same thing. He's down 10 Vils again, but he's still got the units he needs to stay in the game. Sam's got to be close to max Vils soon. He has at 72. Knuschelbär is at probably 60. I've got to be on his point of view. 65. Once the villagers max out, then Sam's not going to have much of a lead anymore. I really wish he knew about the Seminole. It would be huge. Does he have any upgrades on his Yumi? He sent Way of the Bow. Yeah, just Way of the Bow. Knuschelbär's got maybe attack as well. Game is kind of playing in slow motion now. Just gonna speed it up a little bit. Hopefully that helps reset the thing a little bit. Just more flaming arrows coming. Both players. Yabusame actually. Okay. Yabusame going to be mixed in for Knusch. He's actually housed. He couldn't get out. He couldn't finish the batch of flaming arrows. But those few Yabusame that he just made, wherever they went, where did they go? Am I blind? He canceled them? Wait, where are they? There they are. These few Yabusame, when the flaming arrows are just trading against each other, could really help. It's going to be 5 flaming arrows against 4, but there's 3 Yabusame as well. Oh, 6 actually. 6 against 5. I don't know how to count. Clubs are going to be drawing the whole army away for a bit. Gives Knusch an opportunity to at least push a little bit. Yeah, it looks like Knusch just he doesn't have enough. Doesn't have enough to push in here yet. Any more Yumis behind this? The villager count. I think Sam is maxed now. And that means that this lead isn't gonna stay a lead for much longer. Knusch is gonna keep training vills and Samwise doesn't have to, so sharing a well down here. Shipping 2 Funes now, just to clear out the fishing boats, get some control of the shrines on the coast here, will be nice. Yeah, I think Sam has to try and push now. He has to make something happen with this lead before it just disappears. Knusch is going to be maxed armies soon as well. This game could really go either way at this point. Like, 8-vil lead on like max eco is really not a huge lead, and as long as the militaries can stay like high population, just has to be careful. Oh no, Yabusame actually might get a great trade here. One flaming arrow goes down, 2 flaming arrows go down. Is there gonna be a 3rd flaming arrow? Knusch not retargeting. But there's only 3 flaming arrows. There's 4 left for Knusch. That actually are going to come in from an angle. This looks really good for Knusch. He's going to totally crush this fight. More Ashy coming from the side. Maybe not the most efficient trades with the flaming arrows, but yeah, Knusch is going to come out ahead here. The last flaming arrow will fall. There's going to be, oh, a big reinforcing batch. Knusch actually, I think, is finally back in this game. Oh, but there's a big maybe not. Big reinforcing batch from Samwise. Huge mass of flaming arrows coming in. Yumi archers as well. Still no Yumi attack on them, but the Ashigaru going to be getting right on top of the flaming arrows. This is hard to call. I think Knusch has a slight advantage in this fight with these reinforcing Ashi coming in. If he loses his position, though, these villagers are going to fall, but... yeah, I think Knusch wins this fight here. And, a lot of reinforcements coming, but I think it's... For now, Knusch has this gold mine, which is exactly what he needs. That's like the last gold mine on the map. There's one up here with 300 gold that no one cares about. The armies are just dead even. M sent 2 Funes, completely forgot about them. Knusch have anything? There's nothing in queue for Samwise behind this, but Knusch has some reinforcements on the way. Ooh, he's gonna lose flaming arrows here. One goes down. Sam might be able to force Knusch off this gold mine, which would be pretty big, but he's not paying attention to the flaming arrows. He loses one. That was what he needed to keep pushing. This game never ends. Sam's forced back again. Means Knusch will probably get to use the remainder of this gold mine. The Funes are finally active. Clean up a couple fishing boats, but look at the score gap. It's shrinking. Like, Sam's eco is not changing. He's got 2 card stacks sending Ashy attack. Sam just sending units, not sending Yumi attack. Seemingly completely unaware of the native post and the upgrades it has. I think Knusch has a very real chance to win this game. Castle trying to go up on the coast for whatever reason. I wonder if Knusch maybe thinks that Sam's water eco is a bit larger than it actually is. Clean up a couple vills here would be pretty nice. Nice volley from the flaming arrows. More flaming arrows coming in for Knusch, and Sam just doesn't have enough. Gotta back up. He's gonna lose 1 flaming arrow. This isn't range. That flaming arrow's dead. Other flaming arrow's dead actually, not that one. And the units, you're not paying attention to your units. Or maybe you are. Game is just dead even. Club's getting onto the flaming arrows. Ashigaru going into melee mode, getting up on flaming arrows. I think we're going to have another very even fight, potentially. But there's still a couple flaming arrows back here, I guess. Oh, 2 docks coming down for Knuschelbär. This castle did go up. This is an overreaction to a non-existent water eco if I've ever seen one. Yabusame now out. And looks like Knusch actually just has the military lead. He's going to be cleaning up these fishing boats eventually. These fumes are going to go down. And Knusch looks like he's in a good spot, but all the Yabusame getting taken out right before 2 flaming arrows arrive. These flaming arrows better shoot this Yabusame. Nope. This is ridiculous. One side pushes the other back and then instantly it flips. Let's see what Knusch is doing with these dogs. He's got 1 Fune in queue. That's it. Might just make that Fune, kill these boats, and then scout the water, and once he sees nothing else, he won't invest anything else. Maybe he'll start fishing himself, which would actually be probably really good. Forced off this gold mine, there's only 100 gold left in it anyway. And, it feels like Sam just has a slight advantage again, but he's going to lose these fishing boats, and when those fishing boats are dead, this eco lead that he somehow has again is pretty much gone. Permanently. He's got one of the arsenal upgrades from the Golden Pavilion. Is there any Ashi? So neither player, seems like neither player has, I think this is Flintlock, neither player has paper cartridge yet. Daimyo finally coming for Sam. The first Daimyo of the game? I think so. Knuschelbär. Is the shipment up? Probably send a Daimyo himself. And yeah, Knusch gonna start fishing again. And I think that's gonna put him in the lead in the next couple minutes. He's gonna have that water eco going. And Sam just hasn't been able to make any progress with his lead this game. And now it's pretty much gone. Both players still max shrine pop. This wonder has been repaired, so Sam won't be able to snipe that. Does he have fishing upgrades in his deck? He doesn't. I'm gonna be pushing in, just slow sieging with these flaming arrows? No. A little bit too scared, maybe, to commit to that and lose them to some flaming arrows that aren't within your line of sight. Another big batch, gonna wait for that. Ooh. Ooh. That is a nice shinobi. Spotting those flaming arrows. I don't know if Knusch was paying attention, but if he was, he knows that there's a lot more coming. Here we go, though. This is a great spot for a swing arrow. He's going to easily pick off 2 of those. And that just probably completely kills Sam's push for the time being again. And Knusch is finally going to be up in eco, I think. Well, stop training fishing boats, but he's got the same number up here for once. Sam just trying to reposition. Maybe clean up these shrines on the left side. Knuschelbär is only at 180 population. Losing shrines still somewhere on the map. Up here it looks like. It's going to be very helpful. Controlling some of the last places that Samwise can shrine hunts. Yeah, Knusch, his score is now equal. I think Knusch might win this game, despite being behind for 35 minutes of this game. Looks like he's finally in a position where he could potentially win a fight and end the game. Samwise, though, he's definitely not out of it. I mean, it's roughly equal, but Knusch has been playing very well so far to hold on to that lead, and it seems like maybe he'll be able to make use of that lead. Or, I mean, make use of just the more resources he has available to him. Here we go, though. Big fight. Really nice positioning from Knuschelbär, but going to be pulling back. Just doesn't want to lose anything to the flaming arrows. Ashigaru going into melee mode. Flaming arrows do get pulled back. And once again, a fight that's really hard to call. Epusame going to be picking up one of the flaming arrows, and really, once the dust settles, both players going to be back on equal footing for the most part. Finally, someone knows about the Boyer upgrade. Doesn't have a lot of Yumi to make use of it. It does have some Yabusame as well. I guess they'll benefit from it. Sam kind of forcing Knusch into a corner, but is it enough? Knusch might have a big flanking army here if Sam overextends. Sam just doesn't have reinforcements coming. Come on, Knusch, use your units. Knuschelbär just keeps fighting back into these great positions. These Yabusame are going to be paying off big time now. And more flaming arrows for Knusch at the end of this, I think. Knusch is going to be able to push Samwise back again. Just look at the military deficit now. Finally pulling ahead in eco, pulling ahead in military. He's got the fish going. And yeah, Samwise forced to back out. 5k score lead for Knuschelbär now. And Samwise, he does have stuff coming behind this, but not a lot. Doesn't have a lot coming. Knusch finally got the upgrade for the Yumi, and actually, it looks like Samwise just called GG. Somehow, despite being behind almost the entire game, Knusch manages to hold on and then win the game. Samwise was just never able to actually push in and do lasting damage. Knusch just always managed to get the right unit composition out, get the units he needed, and take the right fights. And yeah, just really well played from him overall. I think if we look at the Vil timeline, like Sam is just consistently ahead from really like very early in the game. 7 minutes in, he's up 6 Vils, 7 Vils, and he's just ahead the entire time. But the military was never really in favor of Samwise. Like, maybe small periods where he's ahead slightly, but not enough to win the game. And eventually, yeah, Knuschelbär just holds on, finally wins a fight convincingly, and Sam taps out. Okay, that was crazy. Guess we're up 2-2 now in this series. I'm going to restart my game quickly. Let's see, where's the scoreboard? I will be back while the game restarts. I'll be back in just a second, and then we'll get started in the next one. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. Game 5. Okay. I gotta fix the scroll speed. Wait. Work? Yeah, I think so. We're good. Okay, it's not a mirror. It's finally not a mirror. It only took four games, but we're finally in a different matchup. So Knuschelbär gonna be playing India on Colorado. Got 2 really nice treasures in base, 40 wood and 50 food. He's gonna be really happy about that. That's exactly what you need as India, or any civ really, but and on the flip side, Samwise is gonna be playing China. Not a civ that I think Sam is really known for playing, at least in recent memory. I know he definitely used to play a decent amount of China in the past. So I'm interested to see how he plays this game. Looks like he's just going to be doing a trading post start, adding in 1 village, and then likely going to be going for a fast fortress, but the options are open. Knuschelbär, on the other hand, he is quite known for playing India, I would say. I mean, Knuschelbär can play most civs pretty comfortably with a fair bit of versatility. I think typically this matchup is pretty good for China, but it can be tricky. Expecting Knuschelbär to probably play like pretty aggressively, or maybe I don't know. I say Knuschelbär might play aggressively, but he never plays aggressively, so not sure. But potentially he could end up in a situation with the forward aggro here and just rushing Sam, and Sam's trying to get to 3rd age. That's how you would normally expect to see this matchup go. But yeah, I don't know. Knusch could definitely mix things up. He's got good faith agreements in deck. I don't expect him to actually use it. He doesn't have a trading post. Other than that, this deck is fairly standard. Again, no one has really any super surprising decks. Samwise also pretty standard deck. Maybe a couple of Age 2 options. He's got standard army hit points in there. Very flexible deck from Sam for sure. Native Scout is going to be really, really good for Knuschelbär. He's going to be able to see, or at least confirm, like what Samwise is doing at all times, which against China I think is really important. Being able to see like whether he's going to FF or not, I think will be really helpful. He'd be able to see that probably with his elephants anyway, but now his elephants won't be tied down to scouting. He'll be able to pick up some treasures in transition, maybe while he does that. Samwise, meantime, going to be clicking up. Both players placing their wonders around the same time. A little bit earlier for Knusch. 4 villagers on the wonder, pretty standard. Villager going to herd. Nothing committal just yet. Not mining gold. Oh, okay, he's got a rally point on gold, though. Which means Samwise is probably going to be doing just like a standard fast fortress. 120 XP is going to be great for a fast fortress. He's going to be happy with that treasure. This aggro fort, though, it's hard to say what Knusch is doing with it. It's not super aggressive. It's not super passive. It's kind of have to wait and see what he chooses to do with it, but he has the opportunity to be aggressive if he wants to with that aggro fort. Still just chopping lots of wood. Is there a market anywhere for him? No market yet. Just building a second house. Okay, building a second house. This has to mean that he's going to be going for units first, whether it's Sepoy or Sowar or Gurkha. Normally you build either a trading post or a market, or even a consulate, and you build this house later. But he's built the house, he's not really gathering, or he's not looking to spend his wood on anything else. So definitely going to be something aggressive out of him. So it would be on Sam to try and defend that. Who is now up. He's got 700 coin on the way. Needs to hurt in this hunt a little bit, but he's looking to be in a good position to age. Doesn't have a lot of food stockpiled. I mean, I guess he's still got a lot of food on the ground, so he'll be able to age probably fairly easily. The question is, like, will Knuschelbär actually do damage? 300 export actually coming in. Where's the consulate? There's no consulate. What is the 300 export for? Okay, here's the consulate. This takes like a minute to build with this villager, so 300 export's not going to be very useful yet. So actually, it's not going to be as aggressive as I was thinking. He's going to be able to maybe... Nope, doesn't quite get the snare with the sea. Oh, wait, does he? Knuschelbär trying to block with the elephant? Oh, come on. Come on. Just block him. There we go. Get the snare. No! There we go. The snare is finally in on the monk. That guy will be going down. And there's some Seaboy coming out in front. So losing this monk is pretty big. Especially when you get up to age 3. This guy's huge. Oh, he dies. And not having him up is definitely painful. But Samwise, about to click up. Got 700 wood on the way. Please place your wonder. Thank you. Going to be 8 skirmishers with the wonder, so playing it super safe. He's seen the Seaboy from Knuschelbär, maybe anticipating some kind of push. Knusch is going to go for a push. He's got the British consul on the way. 5 Seaboy shipmen. Going to train the redcoats probably immediately, and he's just going to be right-clicking Sam as soon as he's got that. Full 7 villagers on the wonder for Sam. He's going up pretty quickly. Got 9 pikes actually coming as well. Really doesn't want to take any chances about maybe like a bunch of Seaboy and Sowar and stuff coming. Going to be collecting the resources to make sure he has Minutemen available as well. He should be able to hold this, but this it's not got a lot of infrastructure behind this. He doesn't have a consulate up yet. He's actually cancelled the 9 pikes and he's shipping it again, just in case. It's actually going to be probably timed quite well with his wonder, so it's actually probably a good decision to have cancelled that. And now the push is here. All the vills get pulled off the wonder. It's going to slow down his age up a little bit. All the villagers going to be built up. And behind this, there's got to be a 4 Sowar shipment coming on this next card. There's a lot of units working their way across. And Sam is actually in a bit of trouble here. There's going to be some units popping up from the Summer Palace. See what they can do. 9 pikes are going to pop as well. Going to be not quite in time for... Not quite timed exactly with the skirmishers, but... No. Minutemen being called. Okay, he's going to try and force a fight, maybe? Okay, never mind. He thought about it. He definitely thought about it. Skirmishers are going to be popping soon. This age up takes forever. Please gather with your villagers. You need eco. Here we go. 8 skirmishers out. And Sam is up. A little bit of damage taken. A lot of idle time. He doesn't have any buildings, is the big problem for him. And behind this, it looks like there's not going to be a 4 Sowar shipment. It's just going to be a wood trickle, market going down. Just going to calmly transition into something a little bit economic. And I wonder if he'll continue to make units. He can either continue to make units or he can try to age. But he doesn't have a shipment for a long time if he wants to age, so he'll have to either just gather the resources or maybe just keep training units and wait for that shipment later. And this scout is so valuable. Sees a war academy going down, sees where the army is, he knows Sam's not going to try to push immediately. This hero being dead, just completely allowing Knuschelbär to get all the information he needs. I like this 1 sentry. It's going to be kind of useless anyway. It's just going to die to like the Aggrefort's like area damage. Just put it out here. Do a little bit of patrolling for any raids or sneaky buildings and stuff like that. Maybe he's just gonna... Actually, maybe it was just intending to loop around and pick up the Explorer. It looks like that is the case. Consulate going down for Samwise. And this is, China really wants to start pushing. If you wait too long, India starts pulling ahead in Eco. Maybe they get to the next age, they start getting like elephants and other really annoying units. But the Sam have enough. He doesn't really know what Knuschelbär is doing, and he doesn't really have the best army in the world. So he might be a little bit hesitant to age, or to push, rather. Knuschelbär just going to be checking probably this gold mine on the back. Let's see if we can see his rally point here. Just going to be checking, see if there's anything back here. Oh! It's been spotted. Shoot it! But in the meantime, you're going to lose 2 vills. Nope. Okay, pulls them back in time. Not going to lose anything. It's good. He hits a good spot on Knuschelbär's army as well, so he kind of knows maybe what Knuschelbär has. 1 red coat. I don't know. Okay. Wanted to die, and then decided he's too young. Not gonna die yet. Feels like Sam is just waiting for 1 more shipment to push, but I think that might be a little bit too long. Although Knusch isn't trying to age, he's just gonna make Soar. He's just gonna prepare to hold the timing when it arrives. It's gonna be the shipment. I'm imagining probably red coats would be the ideal choice. Red coats or Chengdao. Okay, red coats it is. Intervention on the way. The batch, we'll be able to time that with the batch from Asara Palace. Flying Crow will be out pretty soon. And if Knuschelbär stays in H2, could be pretty good for Sam, although Soars are actually quite good, in my opinion, on the 2 times damage against infantry is really strong. And let's just bring that up because I forgot about it. So a slight military and eco lead for Knuschelbär, but is behind in tech. So Sam has going for him. Where did that arrive? There we go. 9 redcoats now out. Asara Palace batch going to be popping out, and Sam has to be thinking of pushing with that. Knuschelbär just preparing to flank this army, which is probably the right decision. Sam just a little bit hesitant to commit under that Egger fort. Here we go. Knuschelbär going to try to force the fight. So we're going in. Pikeman going to commit to block. And feels like Sam's army is just better here. A few units not quite there yet. Flying Crow on the way. But it is 9-playing pikemen. Is not the best anti-cav in the world here. A lot of the Soars falling. A lot of skirmishers left behind this. And actually, look at the military population suddenly swinging in favor of Knuschelbär. There's another batch of Soar on the way. Getting on top of the skirmishers, they do insane damage. Redcoat's not quite intercepting the Soars. Flying Crow's going to be here. It's like actually a really good fight now for Knuschelbär. All of the anti-cav is dead. There's no good way to deal with these Soars. That Flying Crow's just going to die. And Knuschelbär looking to be in a great spot now. Just a couple units traded for this Flying Crow. And now, skirmishers forced to retreat. 1 Soar is actually so annoying. But there's more skirmishers than there are Gurkha at the end, so Knusch not going to be able to pursue that just yet. 600 coin. No, 700 coin. Wait, I thought he sent that earlier. I guess not. 700 coin on the way for Knuschelbär. That's probably going to get him to the next age, or he's just going to continue training units. Did at some point send camel attack as well, so those Soars are quite good. 5 meter hammers out now. And a cavalry batch in queue for Sam. He doesn't have a market. Oh, he does have markets. Does he have upgrades? He does have a few upgrades. Okay, so Sam looking to be okay. That fight was exactly what Knuschelbär wanted. But Sam's definitely still totally fine for the time being. Needs to just wait on this next shipment. And hopefully cavalry can help swing things here. Knuschelbär 700 point has arrived. Let's see if he commits to these batches. Okay, he's finishing up now. He could still cancel these and try to age if he wanted to. But for the time being, looks like he's content to stay in the second age. Try and force a similar engagement to the one he just had in the middle of the map. That'd probably be pretty good. And yeah, he's pushing now. He's got quite a few units, but we're going to wait for this next batch. Sam, shipment ready soon. Gotta be the 11 Chengdao. I don't think there's no way he's going to be able to afford Manchu. And that, be a good amount of anti-cav, at least. There we go, there's the 11 Chengdao in queue. Losing that flying crow really hurt him. He'd be able to slow push this aggro fort. And yeah, Knuschelbär just doing the same thing as before. Rinse and repeat. Set up for the flank. As soon as you see the army walk in, you prepare to go in. Gotta be a little bit wary though. This cavalry is really strong for China. Here we go. This is going to be the positioning that Knuschelbär wants with the extra batch of Sowar coming on the side. There's a lot of units here from India. Shipment is a little bit far away from the fight at the moment. Sam's going to be trying to kite out of here probably. The two elephants coming up in the back. Being rescued by this one Sowar. Sneaky Sowar. But it looks like that's not going to be enough to really force Sam into a bad position. Still a lot of units here from Sam, or from Knusch. And these Sowar just, oh my god, what are they doing? What are they doing up here? Just can't get into a good spot. But there's just more Sowar coming. And there's not a whole lot that Sam has left to defend against it. The army is just dwindling for him. These Chengdao swordsmen just keep on getting fed into the Gurkha and the Sepoy. There's going to be probably another batch of Sowar coming behind this, as well as the Desert Terror upgrade for it. And there's just more units here for Knusch at this point. This is looking like Sam is in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have any shipments. He's got a shipment ready, but what does he send? He's got to send like a coin or something, or maybe like 7 step riders, like nothing good. But he'll live for now. Flying Crow is going to come up. Batch of Sowar is out for Knuschelbär. There is a Cav batch out as well for Samwise. Territorial Army Combat is going to be the card of choice. Yeah, just like, if you don't feel comfortable going in the units, just go for the villagers. So, Knuschelbär is going to force a fight here. Sam not looking to be in a good spot at all in this this game at the moment. Got another Cav batch in queue. He's not even able to really train villagers because he has to save that food for more units. And Knusch now with an 11 villager lead, a military population lead. Training Rajput behind this, which is probably totally fine. Has he sent martial arts? Not yet. But he has the shipment. He could send this card if he wants, and that would make the Rajput quite strong. But does back up for now. So Sam does have a little bit of time to breathe, but he just doesn't have the army that he needs. Doesn't have any anti-cav. He's got a couple cav batches, can't really even afford to continue training more of them, and this is like what you really need against Soar, is just cavalry. He's going to be going for a raid himself. This could actually be pretty strong if he gets caught here, but the Rajput are going to be there in time to defend. Looks like he was actually just going to rescue the Explorer. These monks have died again. I think they got resurrected by the Agrafort's cannonball. It's not over yet. 10 Rajput for Knuschelbär. 28 villagers on coin. Going to allow him to send the Tiger Claws. And finally there's a Flying Crow that isn't immediately dead and can finally siege this Agrafort. There's just not a lot of stuff here from Sam. He has like just 3 Changdao as his anti-cav, and there's like 12 Soar here. He's got some more coming, but it's gonna be a little bit late. He's got to start training Redcoat soon, but I think he's gonna be a little bit distracted by this. And this positioning just looks great for Knuschelbär. Rajput getting up in there, Soar up in there. There's no anti-cav really to effectively deal with the Soar here. They're just gonna back up, clean up the Changdao swordsman, and they're gonna loop around and finish things off with the extra batch coming in. And Knuschelbär just completely crushing the fight and looking to potentially take another game in the series. Samwise cutting back. There's another 3 Changdao to come in. That's not going to be enough. The whole army gets decimated, and that's the GG called from Samwise. So Knuschelbär, from a 2-1 deficit to a 3-1 or 3-2 lead, just needs to win one more game, and he wins the series. Sam's not out of it yet, though. But that was really well controlled from Knuschelbär in those fights. Drawing the Changdao swordsman forward, picking them off, and then going in with the Soar, and just, yeah, winning every fight. It's a really clean game from him. Just decided that who needs to age when you have skirmishers in H2, right? Just got skirmishers and lancers, why bother aging? Right, I'll restart the game one last time, and we will get into game number 6. Just update the scoreboard for everyone. So close series so far. That's exactly what we like to see. Let's get into the next one. I'm not even sure what map this is on at this point. Okay, Saguenay. And, oh, I thought it was a German mirror for a second. But no. No more mirrors. So it is going to be Germany for Samwise. On the right side of the map here. Let me just remember the UI this time. And Haudenosaunee for Knuschelbär. Gonna be sending up that dock over to the fish. And then the new standard fish start for Haudenosaunee on DE. Very strong. And yeah, I mean, this looks like a pretty good map for Haudenosaunee. It's okay for Germany, but I mean, trading posts are a bit exposed. Trying to build them later, it's going to be potentially running into Knusch being up in his face with this explorer, maybe any units that he rescues. Maybe there are no units to rescue this time around. There we go, there's one Cherokee. It's a native scout. Nothing crazy, I guess, but hard to defend the trading post nonetheless on this map for Germany. Not gonna be ideal for him. Second gold mine has also been exposed, so I'm liking Knuschelbär's Civ pick, I think. And the first fishing boat, he's got 3 fishing boats in queue already. How? Wait, what? Did he get a wood treasure? 75 wood. Okay. Yeah, that's a nice, that's quite a nice start for him. It feels like those fishing boats are, I guess it's a minute and a half in. I forgot the dock takes longer to build. Okay, it's not that unusual, after all. Looks like he's going to be gathering for 4 fishing boats and then gathering for the next age. Ooh. Think Sam got that? No, Knusch got that. Another 75 wood. Oh my god. That's so many free fishing boats that he's got this game. He's got 2 free fishing boats already. He's going to get a total of 5? Yeah, a total of 5 in Age 1. Going to take a little bit of damage on his Explorer for that, but man, that's going to be... That's like the dream start for Tourney, for sure. So, looking to be a great start for him. We'll take a quick look at his deck. Nothing crazy, just all the important cards, all the important military shipments. Got 3 privateers, 4 war canoes. He's got the water dance in there in case he needs it. Samwise, just the warship cards. Other than that, very standard. Looking at no 7 skirmishers. That's a bit unusual, actually. Interesting. Took out 7 skirmishers for the frigate rather than 1,000 wood or 1,000 coin. That could potentially hurt him later on, but we'll have to wait and see. Both players are going to be aging up at the same time. Knuschelbär just going to have a couple of extra vills with those fishing, with the wood treasure he got for the fishing boats. Is this a wood treasure? It's an XP treasure. That's pretty good as well. 90 food for Samwise. He's going to be gathering up for the... Ooh, Gangsaw coming in. Probably going to be building a trading post soon. Getting Gangsaw right now, I wonder if that means he might decide to play in the second age a little bit. Certainly the options are still open. So he's scouting for the dock right now. Does he see it? Does spot the dock. Oh, you know what? He could go for a caravel rush. I don't know if his flag was here the whole time. Maybe he moved it, but he could. Could be getting Gangsaw, going to chop a lot of wood, build a dock, ship 2 caravels, and train a caravel. Knuschelbär, though, is already up to second age. Went up with the messenger. Where's his war hut? There it is, in the middle of the map. 600 wood going to be the first card, potentially for some more fishing boats. Going to get down maybe a stable, train some tomahawks, market. Get pretty much whatever you want with that wood. And yeah, Sam's still chopping a lot of wood. Not gathering for steel traps at the moment. Is he going to go build that dock? I feel like this has to be a caravel rush. He's going to do some scouting. He's not building a trading post either, which is... I mean, I guess he can build a church. See, he's going to walk, he's going to see the war hut. He might, I don't think he can build a trading post anymore. His tomahawk's running out, time to deny it at this point. Unless Knusch just stops chasing him. Okay, so we're out now. Okay, it's just going to be a barracks. No trading post. Has he just forgotten? Just no church yet either. It seems like Sam just forgot to build a trading post, which is... Okay, it looks like maybe he's remembered now. He's pathing down here, but getting intercepted by Knusch. Does Knusch notice? Yes, he does, and there's tomahawks coming. So no trading post for Samwise. We remember the church XP. It's already looking very good for... Okay. Wait, maybe you can sneak out and get it, but still looking very good for Knusch, especially this treasure is just so good. So good for the War Chief civs. Like, just convert the rifleman, and then you get another rifleman. Sam can probably crack shot it right now, but still really good. Oh, he's actually just gonna go for it. You know what? Like, why not? Like, you trade your Explorer and he has one less unit, doesn't matter. I think it's a good decision to just suicide the Explorer for that. This one Cherokee will just run away, see if it can stall a little bit. But yeah, this is not looking good. Sam, he didn't build a church. Maybe he's forgotten, or maybe he just wants to save the wood for his units at this point. Ulan's just gonna go out and raid, but yeah, Knusch in a good spot. Big button tomahawks arriving. He's not really got enough to push into the base at the moment. I mean, 5 crossbow and 5 pike should be able to defend this just fine. The villager, what are you doing? No, don't do it. Oh my god, she lives. Okay. Minuteman call. I'm gonna force Knuschelbär back. I mean, Knuschelbär doesn't have a trading post himself. He fast aged age 2. It's gonna be hard for him to get to 3rd age, but he's probably better in the 2nd age than Samwise is. 7 hyena coming next, training probably 5 more. 3 dops gonna be the next card for Sam. That is, I mean, he's seen more Kanya, so I guess he's anticipating just more coming from the stable. But that's gonna mean that Knusch is actually gonna have a pretty big advantage with the hyena that pop out here. If he chooses to push with them. Starting to add in some more fishing boats as well. It's up to 6 now. 7th is in queue. I guess Samwise has to try and push this warhead probably. Aging up is going to be hard without a trading post. And yeah, he doesn't really have much longer he can afford to wait. Market finally going up for Knuschelbär. This villager is going to walk all the way out there to construct it. Just get him some line of sight of this path, like where Ulans might want to come to raid later on in the game. So it's a good placement. Positions his army there so he can get it up safely as well. Yeah, looking very good for Knuschelbär at the moment. And just shipping villagers behind. He's got another batch of Kanya coming. And Sam just not comfortable pushing in. He was pushing out a little bit, but he's going to back up, wait for the next batch, maybe wait for this shipment he's about to get. It's probably going to be 8 crossbow. There we go. And he has to push with 8 crossbow probably. He can't really afford to wait too much longer. But, I mean, there's a lot of units here actually for Germany. Maybe Knusch will overextend. Although, not quite enough Ulans you need to deal with the hyena mass. And, yeah, this is kind of a scary army from Knusch, potentially. He's gonna go in for the crack shot. And, like, 3 Minutemen die. Almost loses the Explorer for that, though. Trying to snare, just getting pulled back. Explorer's gonna go down. The 8 crossbow shipment has arrived, it's on the way. I think Sam just wants to fight, but Knusch is just like, no, I'll just wait. I'll just wait. You don't have a TP. Like, you're stuck in H2. I just need to wait until I can get, like, more units out. I have a better eco. It's actually stacking a lot of food at this point. I'm probably gonna train more hyena and Kanya horsemen pretty soon. Yeah, there we go. He just wants to wait until he gets those. Maybe wait until he gets some upgrades. As long as he knows that Sam is committed to H2, he's not going to be too worried. The only thing he needs to worry about is H3 Germany. And, oh no, 1 free Ulan going down. 2nd Ulan going down. Actually, okay, he went in intentionally to try and snipe the Explorer. Does get it. It's 100 XP. 10% less hit points on all of these units. No crack shot available. Losing 3 Ulans for that is probably not a bad trade. And now, the army's a little bit out of position. Might be able to just snipe this Warhut. It's down to half HP already. That's definitely going down. More pikes coming out. Training more crossbows behind this. And does he just back up? Now, we send 2 caravels as the next card. Okay. Just going to try and contain these fishing boats. So it was about as good as Sam could have hoped for. Knuschelbär could be using the, what is it called? Oh, it doesn't tell me what the name of the ceremony is. Chief ceremony or something, to get that war chief back. Full HP. Very strong. Sam has to be a little bit careful here. He does have a lot of anti-cav, I guess. He knows he killed the Warhut. The hyena mass isn't going to be growing for a minute until Knuschelbär can rebuild that. Those caravels have just arrived. They're going to be just attacking Dock. I'm going to prioritize that Dock. Don't even worry about the fishing boats, just get the Dock down. If the Dock goes down, then everything is fine. You can kill the fishing boats later, I guess is the idea. Knuschelbär. Doesn't look like either player has really even noticed that this is happening. Knuschelbär hasn't noticed at least, but there's going to be a big fight down here. Yaina in a great position. Just able to take a lot of free shots here. There are a few Ulans. Is there a stable out? No stable for Germany. Just double racks at this point. He's committed to the second age. Pike's going to be on the front lines, taking tons of damage from these hyena. And this is looking amazing for Knuschelbär. All the anti-cav could potentially get cleaned up here, and then Kanya Horseman at the end of it, but it's taking a while to kill them, actually. Pulling the way through the anti-cav. Maybe Sam is doing well here. He's killed the Dock, all the fishing boats are falling. Actually, is Samwise ahead? Maybe not ahead, but that went pretty well for him overall, for sure. I feel like Knuschelbär had no opportunity there to keep the cavalry alive and potentially win that fight, but well executed double attack from Sam, and now Knusch has a lot of resources. He's building a tribal marketplace. Looks like he might just... Oh, he can't... He's already shipped the crates. He can't age yet. He's built 2. He's 17 built. Okay, he is going to try to age. He's going to ship 6 tomahawks to buy time while he's aging. And a bit risky, because it also... He's used his fast age to get to the second age already, so aging up is going to take a very long time. Sam just making sure there's nothing going on over here. Maybe this caravel will just hang out next to this hunt in the future, just to keep these vills nice and safe. But yeah, Sam looking to be in a great spot now, after that fight. Double the military population. Slight villager lead after he killed all the fishing boats. Knuschelbär is hurting for hunts a little bit. He's just got a bit back here. Does he have anything in queue? Okay, he's decided to train a few more units. He had enough food. Just maybe not enough crossbows to push in here, but... Here we go. Kanya coming in from the flank. This positioning is really nice, again, from Knusch with Yaina, just able to shoot freely. There's a lot of stuff here from Samwise. Just getting right on top of the Yaina. More pikes coming in, so he's safe. Knuschelbär, he's still not training units. He needs to probably just buy wood, train units. There we go, queue some Kanya Horsemen. But actually, this fight is actually going really well for him. He was down 20 military population. Now it looks like Sam has to back up, and Knusch can just cancel everything in age? Maybe? Or maybe he just tries to finish the batches and fight. Okay, he cancels a few hyena. He's going to keep these Kanya Horsemen in queue, probably. He's going to age behind this. That was a really, really nice hold from Knusch. Just showing why hyena are so good when they get to just stand and fight. And the crossbow pike, just a very underwhelming composition there. Samwise really needed cavalry. And yeah, Knusch is going to be aging behind this. Sam going to be aging himself. Actually sending 700 wood. He could have sent 700 gold and age now. He's on a bit of a clock now to assist dispatch. He's got to try and push again pretty soon, because Knusch is up with the warrior, which I believe gives you mantlets, I want to say. I believe it's 4 mantlets. Doing a good job of just patrolling with this caravel, making sure the dock doesn't go back up. Making sure that these hunts don't get herded onto the ice, get to be used freely. Second war hut going up. Looks like he was dancing. Yeah, he's just dancing for these Trovaz, so that he can just use them to defend while he ages. Some raids down here. Gonna get 1 villager. Sam gonna respond, but gonna take him a little bit of time. I don't think Knusch will stick around long. Also, double stable. Ulan batch popping out. Sam might be just waiting too long. He doesn't know that Knusch is aging. But if Knusch manages to age and get out some forest prowlers... Also, like, what are these war huts? There's gonna be 4 war huts. It's gonna take so long to kill. But okay, there's gonna be double batch of cav coming. Imagine 700 coin will be the next shipment, probably to make even more cav. And he's just going to try to go for a big game-ending push here. Is one of these in cover mode? No, they're just confused. They don't know how to walk fast. 8 Ulan's going to pop out. Could be Cav HP. Could be the card he sends. But probably 700 coin. This is a scary push, but Knuschelbär will be up pretty soon. And, I mean, he doesn't care if he loses 2 or 3 war huts. Like, he's got plenty. He's aging with another one if he wants. He's probably going to have another Trovaz pop out any second. And, Sam, commit. Commit. The age up is in. You gotta commit. 4 mantlets out. They're going to tank a lot. 440 HP on those. Another war hut going to go down. And Knusch can just wait all day for these war huts to go down. He doesn't care. Doesn't change anything if those go down. Got 6 Konya horsemen in queue. Daina are in a great position behind this choke point here. And Sam's just trying to age behind this. And just doesn't have enough Ulans left. Like, his army is just going to get cleaned up here. 6 Konya are 20 seconds away still. Ulan's finally going to be getting into a position where they can actually join the fight, but the Tomahawks are right there to meet them. Pikemen going to be getting into the fray, or maybe just trying to kill this war hut. And yeah, it looks like Knusch is going to easily hold this. Huge military lead for him now. Konya horsemen out to pop, clean up all the crossbows. Sam is aging, but all his villagers are really exposed. This army's gonna die. These Konya can go for a raid, or like Knusch can just push. One lonely pikeman was going to escape, and now he's going to die. And yeah, now 39-0. There's Ulans in queue, but the villagers don't have anywhere to go. This is scary. It was looking really good for Sam. He just needs to buy some time. If he can buy some time, get 2 shipments out, he'll be okay. But these villagers are spotted. That's a pretty big blow to the eco. He can afford to stomach this loss though. Like, he's got a pretty big eco lead, but Ulans pop out. Just gonna sack the vills. Wait for the shipment. Oh, he's just committing to full Ulans. What does Knusch have behind this? He's not training any anti-cav on the way. He's got a few musket riders. He's going to try and cut off the reinforcements. Fortunately for him, he's not going to find anything too useful to try and catch. This is a... Oh, he just calls it. This wasn't over. He had a shipment ready. Yeah, he's going to lose his stable and get forced off the gold mine. He can ship... Oh my god. He had enough gold for, like, Black Riders and stuff. You say it was pretty over, but, like... He's Germany. Like... His shipments are great. He had one shipment ready. He still has 2 Raxes up. Like, this stable's going down. Yeah, he's gonna idle some vills. Like, yeah, he's gonna have to fight with his vills up here. Like, the villager count's gonna be equal, probably, at the end of this. But, like, if he can take a fight... Like, all he has to do is win a fight. Like, really, like, your eco doesn't matter anymore at this point. If you win a fight, like, you get control over all these resources in the middle, and you win the game. I don't know if that was over yet. I think maybe just... I mean, I can see how he would think it's over. I mean, he's definitely at a big disadvantage, but I don't think that he was dead. Like, Knusch had 1 Force Prowler in queue. Doesn't have any musket riders coming. I don't know. I mean, it would have been tough to win for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Sam played really well early in the game. Like, took some great fights, did a lot of damage. Maybe just waited a little bit too long on the push, didn't know what Knuschelbär was doing, and Knusch just picked exactly the right time to age. Had a couple of really good holds in his base. The war huts were kind of a good idea. And yeah, I guess he just takes the series. 4-2.